Well, I don't know if there's any words to describe it, all the ups and downs that we went through, that everybody else has been going through. Never been in a situation like this before. So, I guess the most difficult part is every time you get a limitation or a rule or a regulation or a date or something, it seems like the next week it changes. So, you try to do the best you can to plan out and make sure everybody's safe and do the things that you're supposed to do. And then when it changes, it just makes it difficult.
I mean, you're kind of dealing with this from two sides, not just as a coach of this team, but obviously as a father of a daughter with the volleyball team. I mean, what's that like for you, and how tough is it to kind of, sit here and kind of wait and have to, kind of see what's going to happen before anybody can move forward?
It does hit home a little bit more when you got one at your house that's expecting to have their senior year, and another one expecting to have their sophomore year, and you don't know if that's going to happen or not. There's an inherent risk with playing athletics that I think everybody knows about, and this is just another risk that's been added on top of it. It's like in football, I don't think there's a coach out there at some point in time hasn't said, you need to keep your head up when you're tackling. If not, you won't be able to play because there's a risk involved if that head goes down for an injury. And this falls into the same category, I think, as far as that goes. You don't want to be the one responsible for somebody getting injured in any way as a coach, but as a parent that there is risk involved, and the rewards well outweigh the risk involved in any situation, I believe.
Players, what have your mindset been like going through all of this? Of course, this is something that none of us have had to go through, but how do you guys assess that risk, and kind of what are your thoughts as we're, trying to get closer to this football season?
You can go first. We just want to always stay ready. Like, if they're going to call our number to go out there, we're going to be ready the next day to go out there and play. And we're just trying to pride ourselves on being ready whenever. The only thing that's constant right now is everything changing. So we're just trying to, do what we can and just stick together as a team.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have just been trying to not lose what we lost over that 3-month period and not being able to go out or do anything. I think a lot of people have just been working out, doing what they can to hopefully have a season.
William, how big is your senior class, and have any kids and or parents come up to you and said, as long as public health crisis as it is, I just can't let my boy play?
No, I haven't had any situation with seniors, especially to this point. That could very well change, and I think one of the things, as far as I'm concerned personally, is it hasn't hit a situation where it hits home to me. And when it does, or if it does, and if it has with somebody else, I think your outlooks on things changes. I know in my situation, my personal life, since the quarantine began, I know several people that have passed away for numerous reasons, and whether it's cancer or heart attack or different things. We've lost people and lost loved ones in this point in time. That's been difficult to deal with. Haven't had anybody in a situation that we've lost because of this. And, you just do the best that you can to kind of get through all the situations that pop up in front of you.
Is there anything to compare it to in your coaching career?
Not that I've been a part of, and I've been coaching for quite a long time. So, I can't think of anything that even comes close to this. And, I feel for all the seniors, not just mine, or all the kids that are putting forth the time and the effort to have a season, and they don't know if they're going to get to or not. I kind of attribute it to a job. It's like, these kids have been working from March on their own, and then when we got to start working out together, they got to continue to work, and, they don't know if they're going to get a payday. It's like, so to speak, it's the same thing. If your boss come up to you and said, hey, listen, here's what I need you to do from March, until June, I need you to work as hard as you possibly can on your own, and then we'll find out in August, September if we can pay you or not. That's kind of what these kids have fallen into, and I think it shows their character whenever you know that one of your players is doing what they can to prepare.
It's a big week coming up, starting with Thursday's announcement. Where does it stand right now? Where do you see this this going forward?
Well, it seems to me like every day changes, my opinion does. Of course, my opinion really means very little. If you'd asked me that a week ago, I'd have said, 24th we're going to go, September 11th we're playing. And then after the governor made the recommendations for school last week, or this week, I guess, you never know what might happen because of that.
For the players and coach, how important is it that you guys play this year?
I mean, it's our last year. A lot of people want to go play in college, and, that's just kind of it's the last dance pretty much. I mean, we got to go out with a bang, and we worked really hard, and everyone always says, oh, my senior year, all this, and we had really big plans for this year, and it's going to take a lot to take that away from us, I think.
Yeah, like Sebastian said, I mean, it's pretty important to everyone because, I mean, I've been playing football since I was in second grade, and I love the sport to death, and not being able to play my senior year would really bring me down.
How big will your senior class be? William?
Pardon me?
How big will your senior class
We've got 16 kids.
be? Quite bigger than last year, correct?
A little bit, yeah. We've had some additions since the season was over last year. So, we got some kids that are seniors that haven't played before, but, one great thing about it, we've got about 33 to 35 freshmen that have been coming on a regular basis. So, that's what we got to get to as a program, and be able to keep those kids from the freshman year. And, one thing I want to add is we sit here in this media day and, we're reflecting on the situation that we're all here, dealing with, because all you guys got masks and I walked with a mask in, and, it's taken away from these guys because it's their senior year. The discussion should be at this point in time is, Sebastian, what do you think your outlook's going to be on the year? Jonathan Gornick, what are your expectations? And we don't really even get into that, and that's something that as a kid, they look forward to their entire life, and then now they're in this situation, and we're talking about something totally different, and I think I sympathize with those guys because of that.
Coach, are you frustrated at all with the lack of guidance to head football coaches from KHSAA? And I've talked to a dozen football coaches, and how do you handle locker rooms, and how do you facilitate this, and how do you facilitate that, other than just the CDC guidelines? Because there are things that you got to do as a coach that they don't address in the CDC guidelines, other than 6 feet and a mask. And we're in the 11th hour, getting ready to kick off high school football. Is there any kind of frustration, or you just
Well,
roll with it?
I don't think there's any frustration as far as me personally goes, but, the hard part is we're wanting to do what we have to do to make sure our kids are safe 100% of the time. And that's our main objective. And I think the hard part about this is nobody knows. And nobody knows until something happens, and then everybody wants to go back and say, see, I told you so. This was a situation where we should have done this, or somebody should have done that, and they want to blame somebody for it. But nobody has an answer right now about tomorrow. Now, 2 days from now, everybody will have an answer about tomorrow because they know what happened, and I think that's, that's a bad thing that we live in because, but that's the world that we live in now. Everybody wants to voice their opinion, and I just want what's best for all the kids, not just the ones that play at Greenwood, but the ones that play at all the schools and be able to enjoy their senior year and have something to look back on like I do.
So let me ask you, players, what is it about this team this year that you like the best? What is it about this program?
I mean, no team has ever gone through something like this, and it's crazy to just see how everyone handles it. And we were already close to begin with. We were a team, but when you go into practice and, we all don't even know if we're going to be able to play, but we still come in 6 a.m. every morning. I mean, that shows something about all of us, and it's just an unconditional love we all have for each other.
Yeah, out of the 4 years I've been at Greenwood, a lot of people, like, they don't work as hard as this group has. Like, not just the senior class, but like the freshmen, the sophomore, the juniors. Even Coach Howard, you can tell him, we haven't had as many we have a board in the weight room that has like how many lifting accomplishments we have, and we haven't had that many there in a while.
Okay, Coach Howard, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Players, thank you. Good luck this season.
Thanks for having us.